Things are pretty quiet out here on the mall tonight, but it was a different story just a few hours ago as people from across the country came out to show the new administration that they are not backing down when it comes to the issues they care most about. According to police, the suspect's last known address was right here in this apartment complex. A problem for some of the residents is the fact that the key they use to access the front door can be used to access any of the buildings on this property. Well, imagine being a student at this university and getting a message on your phone saying there's been a bomb threat and you need to evacuate immediately. Well, that's exactly what happened to students here this morning. It's certainly not the way they expected to spend their Easter. Well, things are pretty quiet out here on the mall tonight, but it was a different story just a few hours ago as people from across the country came out to show the new administration that they are not backing down when it comes to the issues they care most about.
No justice! No justice!
With the presidential inauguration just days away, protesters came out to the National Mall to have their voices heard about the incoming administration.
And why we are out here, that you should applaud. Power to the people and down with those who are destroying our country.
That's right. We won't back down. We won't be trumped.
Protesters took to the streets as part of Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network's rally. They're here to let the new administration know that they don't plan on backing down when it comes to the issues they hold dear, from health care and equal rights to police brutality.
And we're going to stand up for Eric Garner, and we're going to stand up for Walter Scott, and we're going to stand up for Tamir Rice. You may switch presidents, but we just going to switch legs and keep on marching.
Naomi Jones and Marcia Maddox are nurses from New York City. They felt like they had to have their voices heard.
These are serious times when you start talking about women's rights, voting rights being taken back, people not having access to health care. I mean, these are two bigger issues for me to have stayed home.
I have to have a backbone. I have to come out of my house, not sit behind the computer, and stare my fears in the face and do what I need to do to let my voice be heard.
The new administration may be days from taking office, but for those gathered here, the fight is far from over.
I know I'm in it for the long haul, but I want to rally people to do the same. And we have 4 years to fight.
This will not be the last protest of Inauguration Week. The Women's March next Saturday is expected to be the largest of the planned protests. Live at the National Mall, I'm Brittany Gordon, DCW 50 News at 10. The attempted sexual assault happened here at the Arbor Heights apartment complex. Now, the suspect was taken into custody in just over 24 hours, but that does not fully calm the fear of those who live here. Police arrested 30-year-old Jermaine Johnson for the attempted rape of a teenage girl in this Arlington community. For residents like new mom Sujeen Sanchez, news of the assault put them on edge.
I live here with my daughter and my boyfriend, and I was like scared. I was like, I don't want to go out, because I have a little daughter, like who would do that?
According to police, the suspect forced his way into an apartment on Friday morning, pulled out a knife, and attempted to sexually assault a teenage girl. Something caused the suspect to flee from the scene before committing the rape, leaving the young woman with minor injuries. For mothers like Patrice Johnson, knowing that this happened so close to her own home is frightening, to say the least.
I'm devastated because I'm a single mother. I have 2 daughters. We walk in and out very frequently, so it's very disturbing.
According to police, the suspect's last known address was right here in this apartment complex. A problem for some of the residents is the fact that the key they use to access the front door can be used to access any of the buildings on this property.
It's just like, what do you do? What do you do to protect your community? And I think that they should just implement more protection, more security. Everyone should be able to access the buildings, So I just hope they really implement that moving forward.
The suspect is being held without bond by Arlington County PD. Police say that he may face more charges. Tonight, some neighbors are afraid of losing their homes after a propane tank explosion in this house rocks the foundation of homes throughout this block and sends 3 kids and 1 adult to the hospital. Fire officials say that a man inside of this Hampton home set off an explosion with the use of a propane tank. The blast almost demolished his home and then sent the walls crumbling just next door.
We just heard a big boom, and it was just like dust everywhere, and we just kept screaming, "What happened?" And then the babies kept yelling for us, and we couldn't find them.
Elva Bledsoe's hands are bloody after digging her great-grandkids from out under the rubble. They were visiting the home of neighbor Lucy Muffaletto when the walls quite literally came tumbling down.
It's something you see on television where the people are laying there in the rubble, and that's just what it was. The kids were in the rubble.
Lucy and Elva got the kids out and to the hospital. As for how this all happened, that is still under investigation. But some neighbors wonder if the man was trying to heat his home.
We certainly discourage the use of propane tanks for any alternative use.
2 News works for you.
The flooding frustrations continue in the Midwest. With the number of violent crimes soaring here in Baltimore, residents are making a call to action. And it's a special day for these fathers while they're being honored for their contributions to the Baltimore community. The news starts now.
Now, ABC 2 News at 6:30.
A call to action on this Father's Day. With the growing violence here in Baltimore, many residents are hoping to find a way to turn things around. Organizers of an event today say men must take on a more active role in building a safer city. ABC 2 News' Cheryl Connor is live at the Baltimore Convention Center with more on this Father's Day event. Cheryl? And you're taking a live look at the Inner Harbor in downtown Baltimore. A beautiful night, clear skies, and low humidity. Most importantly, though, it's not too hot. But is that heat wave a thing of the past? Let's ask meteorologist Emily Gracie. She's here with our first forecast. It's been a violent weekend here in Baltimore. Police say 9 people were shot in a span of hours late Friday and early Saturday. Ironically, the shootings followed a City Hall rally against violence led by Mayor Sheila Dixon. Police say the violence included a triple shooting and 2 double shootings. 2 men were killed in the triple shooting. Officials say the shootings do not appear to be related. Well, tonight, Harford County Sheriff's deputies are looking for this man. Authorities believe Gary Davenport was involved in the shooting death of 18-year-old Taron Williams yesterday morning. Now, authorities also say he was involved in the shooting of 20-year-old Timothy Williams. Williams is still at shock trauma tonight, but he is expected to survive. The shooting happened in the 1600 block of Candlewood Court early yesterday morning. This is the county's first recorded homicide this year. If you have any information on Gary Davenport's whereabouts, the Harford County Sheriff's Office urges you to contact them. Here's the number. It's 410-836-5430. Well, the Baltimore political world is mourning the loss of one of its most prominent and long-standing members. With a career in politics spanning nearly 40 years, election consultant and campaign manager Arthur Murphy was at the helm of several winning campaigns throughout the region. Having worked in local politics for several decades, Congressman Elijah Cummings say he knew Murphy well.
It is so very, very painful. There's some people that come upon the earth and they make a big difference, and they take whatever God has given them. They don't complain. They just use it until they're used up.
This Democratic result.
Murphy died of complications from multiple sclerosis. He was 57. Well, today the congregation of Baltimore's Bethel AME Church celebrated its Father's Day in a big way. The church honored several local men for their outstanding contributions to the local community. ABC 2 News' Sadia Van Winkle has more on this special Father's Day celebration. And ABC 2 News' Terry Owens was among the men honored at today's ceremony. He was given the Ed Bradley Award for his achievements in media. Still more ahead on ABC 2 News, the misery in the Midwest continues. A look at the devastating damage in Iowa, and the Orioles tie it up in the bottom of the 9th. Can they pull out another magical win? Now we have some breaking news out of Baltimore County. A son is shot by his own father on Father's Day. ABC 2 News' Sadia Van Winkle is in Baltimore County with the details. Sadia?